It's Friday, October 5th, 2007, and you are watching The Ointment. I'm Steve Tatham, and my MySpace mood today is, indecisive. Fridays here on the show, I take a look back at some of my favorite stories from this past week, so here it goes. Our top story in political news, George Bush has vetoed a bill which would give poor and near-poor children health insurance. He says, if these kids want federal health insurance, they can go out and get themselves elected president. Newsweek magazine is reporting that the Iraqi police have conducted an investigation into the goings-on of the Blackwater organization. Those are the mercenary soldiers hired by our own government, and they allegedly gunned down civilians and soldiers without provocation. The Iraqi police says it's so. You know, I don't know who to believe in this situation. Who's more trustworthy? Blackwater or the Iraqi police? It's kind of like picking sides in a Pamela Anderson divorce proceeding. The U.S. Congress has been very, very busy because, of course, there are large problems out there to solve, from the economy to the war on terror to global warming. But you know what they've been spending their time doing? Well, they're considering voting to condemn Rush Limbaugh because he said some jackass, idiotic thing. Just like last week, they voted to condemn MoveOn.org for an ad in the New York Times. Let's see. Newspapers, radio. Oh, you know what they're going to take up next? They're going to look at the new fall season and decide who's their favorite caveman. What's that smell? Oh, I know. It smells just like 1991. So throw the CNC Music Factory onto the turntable because they're at it again. Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas, just like 16 years ago, are doing the old he said, she said thing about alleged sexual harassment. Now, back then, when Clarence Thomas put down Anita Hill and she talked about how she was sexually harassed, he got a lifetime gig on the Supreme Court. And this time, he's doing it again, and he's got a $1.5 million book deal. And I think there's a very valuable lesson in this for all of us. Sexual harassment is very, very profitable. The Department of Homeland Security has issued a security warning to airline passengers. Please do not bring in your carry-on luggage remote-controlled toys, because they are cracking down on these devices because they may be used by terrorists to smuggle onto airplanes explosive devices. Already in custody by the Department of Homeland Security is Dipsy and Lala, still on the loose, Poe and Tinky Wink. In political news, Jewish and Muslim groups are lashing out at Senator John McCain because of a speech he gave recently that stated that America is a Christian country. In fact, the only group now more hostile to the presidential aspirations of John McCain is the Republican Party. And finally, I wrap up each week with my news quiz question. Today's question is about a secret Justice Department memo that surfaced this week that appears to contradict the White House's public statements on the torture of military detainees by the US of A. Now, the White House is saying, hold on a second, the United States doesn't torture people. People are misunderstanding the contents of that memo. What that memo is really about is A, Rush Limbaugh's secret plans for the phony torture of phony soldiers, B, plans to booby-trap the White House in the event that Hillary Clinton takes over, or C, Senator Larry Craig's secret weekend bathroom plans. That's The Ointment for another week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Steve Tatham, and that's news. Have a great weekend, everybody.